Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn document object model manipulation techniques using JavaScript. So what happens when the web page is loaded onto the browser? Web page consisting of HTML tags. These HTML tags are converted into document object model. Document object model is nothing but a correspond to a tree of objects. It corresponds to a tree of object. This is what it looks like. These are all the objects here. For example, head is an object, one object, title is one object, and each object has its own attributes. For example, here A is an object. A is having href as an attribute, and we also have some properties like IDs, classes, etc. So whenever the web page is loaded, all the HTML tags are converted into a tree of objects. Once it is converted into tree of object, JavaScript has the full power to manipulate it. Now, when it is in the form of tree of objects, now JavaScript can access any of the elements of HTML. You can add a new HTML elements or delete the existing element or modify the content inside it or change the style of it. You can do almost everything using JavaScript. That's what we are going to see in this class, how we are going to change it. Now what I have done, I have created a simple structure. If you can see, this is the HTML page that I have created. This is the cricket team. This is one division here. This is the main container, and I have one more division with the header cricket team, and this is the subheader, and this is the division of the players list. Here we have all the players name. Now we will see how first we will see how these elements are selected. After selection, how we are going to change the style of it, and then we will see how we are going to change the content of it, and then if possible we are also going to see how we can change the attributes of it, like if you want to change the class and ID of the existing HTML elements, that we are going to see, and then we will see how how we are going to add a new element or delete the existing element. These all manipulation techniques we are going to see here. We will see one by one. First, we are going to see the selectors, how we are going to select the existing HTML elements. So as I said, it is created as an object now. We want to get the object, and we have some selectors here. Here, if you see, if this is the HTML element that we have, we are going to identify this using the ID or the class name. ID is unique. You can't repeat the ID in a page. Okay. But class name you can repeat. Class is a group of object. I mean, if you want same properties for all these elements, you can define it with the same class name. And IDs are unique. You should remember it. So, for example, this is one person. If we consider this as a person, this is the name that we are giving to this person, and we are going to call this person with this name. This is how we are going to select that element now. Now we are going to select the header element. Constant header ID is equal to document dot get element by ID. So what is the ID here? ID we have given the header, correct. Now if I want to print it, console.log header, so as I said you, if I want to select this entire element, I am getting the element using this ID. You have to always think this is one person here, and I'm going to name him with this ID, and that's how I'm selecting it here. Get element by ID. The other thing is, they will say by ID. They will say by ID. By ID. Okay. Next is constant by class. Document dot get elements by class name. So what's the class name that we have given here? Player's name. Player's name. By class. See here, if you do by class, here we have seven objects, because seven objects are containing this player's name. There are seven elements with the same class name. So whenever you select the element by the class name, you can't, for example, okay, we'll see the modification later. So you have to, right now, just you have to understand, whenever you get the elements by class name, you get this set of objects like an array list. You're going to get the array of objects, not the individual object. In case of id is unique. You're going to get an individual element here. You're going to get a set of elements here. Next is by tag name. Document dot get element by tag name. So what are the tag names that we have? I have used all the div here. Okay, h4 is there. H4, there is only one h4 here. We can use a h4. Oh, sorry. By tag name. See, h4, we have only one object here. Length is 1. So it's not like only there is only one h4. So I have selected this tag name. You can also select the div. Tag name div. So we will see what output we will get here. So there are 12 div elements that I have in my HTML page. So this also, when you do get elements by tag name, will give you the array of objects with respect to div. This is three main selectors that we usually use: get element by id, get element by class name, and get element by tag. There is two more other main selectors. Those are query selector by query selector. We will do, otherwise we will take it as a keyword. Okay. Document dot query selector. Query selector will give you the first occurrence of that element. For example, if you want to select the class name, you can use dot. Okay, dot, for example, here it's a player's name. Dot player's name, or you can, if you want to use the id, you can use hash header. This is the id here, hash header. And tag name simply just like this. For example, if you want to select div, you can use it like this. Now in this case, I'm using the player's name. Let's see what it will give us the first occurrence of that particular class name. We are going to print it and see what it's giving us. By query selector. Console console.log. So this is the first id. Here we see Suresh Raina. So Suresh Raina is the first occurrence of this class. So we are getting this Suresh Raina as the Suresh Raina's elements as the output. The next important selector that we are going to use is by query selector all. You can just all is equal to document dot query selector all. If I want that entire class name, player's name, query selector all, when I gave query selector all, I'm getting all the entire list which have entire list of players name. Now, so we have selected the, here we are concentrating only on the main selectors: get elements by id, get elements by class name, by tag, query selector, and query selector all. Query selector is the first occurrence, query selector all the occurrence with the corresponding value which we have given here. Either you have the class name or the ids or the tag name. After you have selected some element, the next job you have to do some changes to it. I mean, you have to why you have selected, because you have to change the color or the content inside it, or you might have to change the attribute of it. That is called manipulation. So next thing what you are going to do is you're going to change the style of it. For example, here we have a header. You have selected this header element. We will change this header element dot style dot color is equal to blue. Right now we will say we have a black here. Now if I run it, see, this is being changed to blue color. This is one of the styling attributes. You can use anything. This object is, you have the entire object here, and the dot style dot color you get it blue. We'll see some more example. And one more thing I have to mention here, this is the individual element, you are able to do it. What if this is the collection of elements? Here you have a class here. Class, you have all the collection of elements. Collection of elements means here you have a player's name. There are seven elements inside this with the same class name. If I want to change this, let's see if this works. Class dot style dot color is equal to, what's the current? Okay, we'll give it gray. Okay, style dot color. Here we are getting error, cannot set properties of undefined setting color. So we can't set the color for the entire array. So now we are going to use a for loop. I is less than dot length I plus plus. We are going to use a for loop. Inside the for loop, what I'm going to do, the first object is represented with the 0. So I have given I as 0. Now using this for loop, what should happen? It should iterate these many numbers, 7 number of times, and then 0 by class of zeros. Then first it will change it to gray. Again, within the loop, it should change all the elements to gray color. Now let's see if it works. See, the text color is changed to gray. Will not change the text color, either we will change the background color. Style dot background color. Color is equal to gray. You just saw the change in the color, right? We will not make it. See, this was a kind of, I don't know what color is this, teal color, I think. Okay, this has been changed to gray color. This is how you manipulate the array of objects. When you get elements is an array of objects. This is how you're going to manipulate it. And we'll also see some more example. If you want to align the text, we will use the same thing. Use the same thing. I don't want align text. Text align. Text align to, now it is in the center. If you want to make it left, see, it is in the center now. It has been changed to left. This is how, these are the some of the example, how you change the style of the elements that you have selected. Next, we will change the content of the elements that you have selected. If you want to change the content of this one, dot inner HTML. HTML is equal to, this is the changed content. See, this is the changed content. And when you come to content, there are some things that you have to see here. Before that, here is the HTML page. We will see the content with respect to this footer element here. Footer element, we will get, we'll select this ID and print the content inside it. Content demo is equal to document dot get element by ID. What's this? Footer. Footer. And now content demo dot, we will print all the three things. Inner HTML. Oh my god, I want to do console.log. Correct. Console.log. Inner HTML, and then inner text and the text content. So what's the difference between these three? If we see from outside, inner HTML, what we saw here is inner HTML is just the text inside it. It's not so actually. When you print it, see, first is inner HTML. Inner HTML means it will print the output with the HTML tags inside that division. Here we have a division here, footer. Inside that, whatever the HTML tags are there, with respect to that, whatever content is there, the entire thing is getting printed here. Correct. We will console.log. So inner HTML is printing with the HTML tags inside in it. Inner text, what it is giving us is inner text. This is the footer. Okay, inner text will give you the text inside it. It is not worried about the format or anything else. It will just give whatever text. I mean, for example, the inner text of this blog is Suresh Raina. Inner text of this is Mohammed Shami. So text is the inner text will give us the only thing that we can see it on the screen. The text content that we are able to see it on the screen is nothing but the inner text. Inner HTML is with the HTML tag that is going to give us the result. Next, text content is, text content will also give us the text inside that tag, but with the same format that we have mentioned in the HTML document. For example, here, see, this is right now it is printed in 3 lines. This is the footer, this is the sub footer. It is in 3 lines. Now I want to print it in the same line. See, inner text is following the same format which is present in the HTML document. For example, I do it in the multiple lines now. See, this is in the multiple lines. So you have to remember the difference. Inner HTML with the HTML tag. Inner text is the one which we can see it on the screen. Inner text content is it will follow the same format that we have mentioned in the HTML document. Now you have changed the content of the tags that you have selected. Here we have changed the content of it. Now I want to change the attributes of it. If I want to change the attribute, for example, by ID, by ID dot, we have the attribute for it. We have ID for it, but we don't have class for it. Set attribute, we are going to set the class for it. class. What's the name of it? New class. Okay. Now, if you see here, ID, I mean, this ID should have a ID plus the newly added class here, correct? If I'm going to select this, see here, you have a header and the new class here. If you are going to see header, this is the one which we have given in the HTML document. New class is the one which we have added while doing the DOM manipulation, correct? And we will do one more set attributes, and also we can also use get attributes. Constant new attribute is equal to which attributes we will take, okay, by class dot get attribute by class dot get attribute of player's name. Get attribute of, we have to get the get attribute of class. We will get player's name should be saved in the new. Okay, get attribute by class. So we are not able to take the attribute of by class. We will see by class. Why we can't see the get attribute of by class? We will see by ID. Okay, now we can't take the get attribute of class. Okay, maybe that okay, because it is a set of objects, we are not able to apply get attribute on it. We can use get attributes inside the for loop, same like this. Okay, now right now we will do for the ID only get attributes of class. We will print it new attribute. So I want to get the class name of this. Class name that we have set recently is the new class. New class, correct. So we have set the attributes, we have done get attribute. We will remove the attribute of it by id dot remove attribute class. What we have set here, see here, we have a new class here. After I do F5, this should not be there because I'll remove it in the next refresh. So we don't have the class name here. We have also changed the attributes. The next step what we are going to see is we are going to create an element, create a new element. Create a new element. How we are till now we have manipulated whatever the exists, whatever elements that we have. Now I want to create a new element. What we are going to do is constant new element is equal to document dot create element. What element you want to create? I want to create maybe paragraph. Okay, new element is created. Okay, then new element is created. Now what I have to do, I have to append this element to the, now I have only created the element, I have not added to the HTML document. You have to add to the HTML document. So what you have to do, document or body, I want to append in the body, correct? I want to append in the body, so I have to do document dot body dot append new element. So what, nothing is there in the paragraph thing, so I want to add something, correct? New element dot inner HTML or inner text is equal to, this is newly Here we created element. So I have added here. It is not there inside the CSS. I have this styling has not been added. This is newly created element has been added here. For example, if I want to add inside some division, what I can do is here we have it. For example, here we have a ID. So I don't want to append in the body. I want to append the ID here. Let's see whether it displays here. Here. This is the newly created element. What I'm doing here is, this was the first division that we had. This division I have got it in one variable. That variable dot append means it will be appended inside this division. So we have created a new element. And we have added the content to it. We have also appended into the HTML document. So you have learned almost all the document manipulation techniques here. First, we have selected the HTML tags, and then we added some CSS styling to it. Then we added the content to it, and then we have played with the attributes of it. We can't set the attributes, get the attributes. For get attributes, you have to use the for loop in case of the class. And also we have created a new element and added to the document. This is how you do the DOM manipulation techniques using JavaScript. Thank you everyone.